everyone. Today on Tell 'em Why You Mad, Sis, Speak What You Really Feel, we have KC,
Hey.
my good girlfriend from high school. We have continued to maintain a relationship. Actually, as we've grown, we actually have become closer. And it's
Mhm.
absolutely amazing how God has directed us together. So now I have to say, we've had some great conversations, Casey, about dating.
Woo.
So, sis, on Tell 'em Why You Mad, tell us the topic of discussion.
Today's topic is the modern woman or man in the dating world in 2021. Because I have been in this game my whole life. I have never been married, no children, and I'm not mad, Jen, but I'm frustrated because
I
it's
get
really
it.
hard. It's hard when you feel like you have your life together for the most part, and you're like, where are you at, though? Like, I mean, truly. And when they tell you not to look, and he'll show up. Then you're sitting home every night with your almost 18-year-old cat that's at my feet. But if you look too
Not the
hard,
cat
people,
lady. Stop, Casey.
I truly, but I,
No. You
I
were
only
too
have one.
young, sis. This is not happening in real life. Okay. So we're going to
Only
talk
one,
about it.
just one cat, and I've had her for forever. But
We're going to
you
talk
know,
about it.
some people say you shouldn't be looking, and others say, well, he's not going to show up at your door. So I'm not mad. I'm just a little frustrated, a little salty, a little disappointed, but I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing all this dating around and on the dating apps. So I know you and I have chopped this topic up, and I'm so excited to be on your podcast. What else do you want to know?
Girl, so in this dating world, so I totally get it because you're a total boss. Let's be clear, okay? You're a total boss, right?
I
So
try.
because you're a total boss, there's certain things that you're just like, I'm not doing this. Like, what what is a dating situation? Give me a story. Give me one of your good stories, Casey. Where you
Okay,
were
I'll
just
tell.
like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this.
I'll tell you the most painful one I've had, where I wanted to throw this man in the dumpster. I was on. I don't know if it was Bumble or Tinder or Facebook dating. I'm also on Match. So for all the haters that say you're on these free apps, get on eHarmony or Match. Ladies and gentlemen, the pool is small. It's real small. Okay. So I matched up with this guy about 6 months ago, and I'm really trying in my older age, in my more mature age, I'm really trying to keep my mind open and not be
Mhm.
so picky about how someone looks, or do you have master's degree like I do, or do you not have children? Because I'm 39. People are going to
Right.
have.
Right.
So this guy really wasn't my cup of tea, but I thought, you know what, he could be the one. So we set up a coffee date at my favorite coffee spot, and I walked in, and this man was nothing but a gentleman. Okay, he was so kind, and I could tell he was a little nervous because I'm a whole lot of alpha female, but I can be submissive for the right one. I know I
Of
can
course, of course.
for
Has to be the right one.
the
We
right one.
we will talk about that one.
So we meet up, we have coffee. He was a painter, and I wanted to get some things painted in my house. And he was saying, "Oh, I'll do it for free." And I said, "No, no, that's your business." So, the date ended well, but I knew there weren't any sparks, which is why I didn't say, "Yeah, come paint this for free." So he continually texts me for a couple of days, and I didn't respond. And one of my good friends here, who is a call it like you see it boss, she said, "You can't leave him hanging. You have to tell him while he was nice, you're just not interested. Be an adult." So I sent him the nicest text message. I mean, I'm talking like genuinely nice. Another reason it didn't work was because he was living with a friend's mom. Another reason it didn't work is because he had a custody battle with the baby's mother. So it wasn't just the coffee date didn't go well. So I sent him this very nice text message saying, basically you're in a transitional phase, and you were very nice and sweet, and I appreciate it, but I think we should just kind of part ways. He texted me back, "Okay, thank you for responding." And I thought it ended really well. Like, boy, big girl. Well, a few months later, he matches with me again. I don't know how we matched, but he said, you're a liar." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Your photos don't they're not what you look like." Now, mind you, I've lost almost 100 pounds in the past 18 months. And when I met up with this guy, I was looking really cute, feeling really good, feeling myself. So he basically says your photos are a lie, and maybe that's the reason you're single, because you're a big girl.
I see. No
He literally
way.
he literally said when you walked into the coffee shop, I was surprised how big you were. And I thought, I'm like 90 pounds down. I'm feeling better about myself than I have my whole adult life. And you seek me out on social media to tell me I'm a liar. But all my photos are recent because I'm not a catfisher. Like, what you see is what you're gonna get. Period.
So you
So,
totally know the reason why he did all of that is because he knew that you peeped that he has a lot going on. We could say so many terms for that, sis.
well,
We know.
he was rejected, but I thought to myself, I was so upset because I feel like I really handled it an adult woman. I'm not going to ghost you. I hate being ghosted. I'm not going to block you. And the fact that you months later are obviously so salty about being rejected, like, dude, if you thought I was such a big girl, why were you texting me days and days after our date? So that one it kind of hit me in the gut, and I had to, go get
Within.
real with
You had it looks like you
counsel.
had to deep within and be like, you know what? That was trash. Like, who was he?
I think I said something along the lines of, "I've just lost a great amount of weight, and I feel really great about myself. Maybe you should do some self reflection, bye,
Oh my God.
and get your own place."
Oh my gosh. But you also,
So
but going back to what I said, like he also noticed that you peeped that he had a lot going on, and you were like, I'm not signing up for this. Like he was a struggle bus, sis. And he literally wants you to sign up for the struggle bus. And you were like, no, thank you.
And I come across that a lot, Jen. I had a date 2 nights ago where the guy, was there any physical attraction spark? No. Was he super friendly and nice? Yes. Was he a gentleman? Yes. But again, so many moving parts. He has 2 kids out in a different state. He's going through a separation. He just moved here. So I texted him today and I said, because he keeps texting me and I don't want to be rude, again, take the high road. So I texted him and said, "I'm so glad we had dinner. You were a gentleman. I had a great conversation with you. However, you are going through a transitional phase and you are not legally divorced." And that's a big rule of mine. I don't want to date anyone that's separated. I want some finality there. And he spent about 30 minutes trying to change my mind. And I thought it was very sweet. He said a lot of complimentary things about our date, but I'm not going to waste your time and I'm not going to waste mine. So we are all going through transitions emotionally.
I give him credit for being honest because he
I,
didn't have to be honest about
a
saying that he
thousand,
was,
a thousand
yeah.
percent, because I didn't know when we went on the date he was separated. I thought he was divorced. So that could have been my bad. I could have glossed over that. I usually am into reading guys' profiles. A lot of them don't have anything written, but he handled it like a champ. And he's going to find a person because he's a good person. He's just
Mm-hmm.
not my person.
Right, right. Let's talk about your standard to your person. What ideally are you seeking in character when you are dating?
Okay. I'm glad you asked that because that wasn't really something I focused too much on until maybe my mid 30s. I used to have a list, Jen. This is so petty, but I used to have a list of all the things I wanted in a man. And it was like brown eyes, brown hair, 6 feet. Oh, listen, 6 feet tall. He's got to have a master's degree. He has to, I mean, it was ridiculous. And
Superficial.
a lot of it was.
Yeah.
But I've learned you can work in construction and make more money than someone with a master's or a PhD.
Hello, hello,
So
hello.
growth, in the words of
You know,
Kelly, so
you're
insecure, growth,
like
honey.
growth.
So let me tell you, I have whittled this down to, it used to be 6, but now it's 7, very non-negotiables.
Wow.
And I actually throw them at guys pretty quickly when we start chatting, because seven's not a lot. And when you hear them, if someone says, I can't do that, I appreciate you letting me know. Good luck with your search. So here they are. You ready, honey?
Yes.
Okay. I would prefer for someone to be spiritual or religious, but the most important component in that for me is I want you to have a good moral compass. I have a lot of friends that are not spiritual or religious, and they're wonderful people. Okay. So I I know a lot of religious people who are one way
Yeah,
at
they're
church. Yeah.
yeah, girl. Like
Yeah, so I'm careful. I would love the person to be a believer in Jesus. That is important, but it's not a deal breaker if you're a really great person and you do good things and you treat others well. So, if that makes sense. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you have to be kind.
hello.
I
Hello.
have, if you ask my sister's 5 years younger, married with kids, she will tell you, you always go for the attractive ones that are dumb or they're not very nice to you. Because I was kind of raised that the way you look is of paramount importance. And unfortunately, that is something I'm trying to break. Hence why I said I'm trying to go outside of my usual, I'm out of my box. But I've never really dated that many kind men. And I need a kind man because the kinder you are, the faster my walls fall. And I'm not as
Mm,
sassy and feisty, but I have to feel safe. And with kindness.
right.
Okay, number three, you have to be personally and professionally driven.
That is a good one.
Like,
That
I
is
want
a
you
really good
to,
one.
if you do well at work, I want you to try to become the manager. I want you to get involved in more projects. I want you to mentor somebody. And personally, I'm forever trying to get healthier physically. If you want to lose the weight, like, let's make a plan. Or I'm going to let you make a plan because I'm not your mama. I'm not your therapist. And I've been a therapist before, a psychotherapist, and I fall into that pattern very easily to where I want to coach. And I don't want to coach my partner. All right, number four, you're an effective communicator. It sounds very elementary, but I need to know when I have stepped on a nerve. I need to know when I've crossed a line. Communicate with me in kindness. And I know it's not always going to be kind, it's life, but you have to tell me when you're upset because being such a strong female, I do believe that there are some men that I will just run all over. And while some women like that, being the boss, I don't want my partner resenting me. And I think that could lead to resentment. All right. Number five, you have to have your own social support.
Hmm.
You have to have friends. You have to have friends, family, coworkers, people that you play intramural basketball with. I cannot be your everything. I don't want to be your everything. And I just think that can lead to a lot of clinginess and unhealthy patterns. And I just can't be your whole world.
Oh my goodness. Casey, when I tell you that list, you've thought about that one like thoroughly. And something that I wanted to mention that I wanted to bring up is that I just find it absolutely interesting that we all struggle with the same issues because Casey, like, when I was in the dating world, as being the alpha female and being an African American woman dating, and it's automatically, oh, you're angry. No, 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 no. We just want you to step that thing on up. Like, please understand, like, the one thing about a lot of alpha females is that we do not like asking anyone for anything. So
Right.
because we don't like asking anyone for anything, that means, sir, get your act together and bring it all.
Amen. So my last two are you have to want a long-term monogamous relationship. And it's
Oh
so
yeah.
sad that I have to say monogamous because I would say 15 to 20% of the dating profiles out there on any given app are people who are polyamorous or they're looking for someone to join their relationship. Nah, I want you to want a boo, a monogamous boo, girlfriend. And I tell men, listen, I'm 39. I would like to get married, but it's more important for me to be in a healthy, monogamous relationship. Hey, there's my cat that you're making fun of.
In that raggedy Tennessee decor, yeah.
Don't. I'll come through this phone, honey.
Roll Tide.
And all right, go Vols anyway. So my last one is you have to live locally. Another thing I find that's incredibly common on the dating apps is we have a lot of people who are in the military. Shout out to them. Thank you for your service. Or people who just, or people that live out of state or out of the country. And I'm not looking for a virtual relationship. If we are messaging and I give you my phone number, you have about 3 days to ask me out. And I don't mind planting the seed and being strong and saying, you know, do you plan, like, where's this invite? I of course I finesse it in a feminine way, but I don't want a long-term relationship. I want someone that lives within, preferably, you know, right in Birmingham, or, you know, 30 miles radius. But those are my 7. And I am so strong in those 7. And I know only the Lord is going to meet all 7 perfectly. But if you're the kind of person that can meet 5 of those 7, or are working on things, listen, again, we're all works in progress. But it used to be brown eyes, brown hair, etc. I don't want you to have a bunch of hair on your body. I don't want you to do that. But I've chilled out. I've matured.
Because you're what you need, your needs have changed. So because your needs have changed, like, you weren't looking for marriage back then. You were looking for somebody to look cute with. Like, let's be clear here. Like, that's it. Like, marriage now is on the table, and having a life partner, having that one you spend forever with, because there's no need to be the alpha female accruing all of this wonderfulness of whatever the alpha female does to not share it. So it's like,
Amen. And, you know, like I said earlier, I know for a fact, you know, I dated a guy at the end of last year, and we didn't date very long, but I really thought this could be the one for me, because he just calmed me down. He calmed me down. So I know when I meet my person, or preferably when they find me, I know when someone's meeting those needs, because I'm not talking a mile a minute, or I used to pick on men a lot. I actually went to a therapist years ago when I was living in Chicago, because I could not stop picking on men that I liked. It was completely my defense mechanism, but it's not a good look. And I would say I've only really kind of mastered that in my 30s. Like, okay, it's okay to be nervous, intimidated. Don't pick on people. That's not, it's not attractive. It's not going to get you a second date. Unfortunately, things didn't work out with the guy. I thought he met a lot of my 7 criteria, but he certainly was not an effective communicator, which to me is, if you don't have that, we have to shut it down. But, you know, I am looking, and I am actively seeking, because I think you have to, you know, put some effort into it. But you and I have discussed before, you know, faith versus anxiety. And that's one of the topics I really struggle with is, God, do you hear me? Okay, I'm going to leave this prayer at the cross. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, do you have an answer yet? Like, do you have
do not check on it, because as soon as you let it go, like, seriously, like, as soon as you let it go, it comes to you. But you have to let it go. You got to let it go. Put it up in the air. Like, let it go. Like, it's difficult. Just put it down. Don't check on it. Just like, it's disciplined. Okay, it's really just discipline. So just coach your mind. I'm not doing this.
So my question for you is this: if you throw it up there and you let it go, and you
that was yep, that was a cute
sorry, sis. No, but if you throw it up there and you let it go, does that mean you should sit at home and not try at all? I try to find a balance between putting yourself out there.
It means get busy. It means do other things. That means keep living is what it means. It really does keep living. Like, okay, for your example, okay, the poor communicator, he actually could be the one for you. You know, I know you're totally against it, but just roll with this possible
scenario. I'm not against it. I miss it.
You know, because you're open to different perspectives. So just explore this perspective, right?
Okay.
Let's say he is the one.
Mm-hmm.
He just was intimidated by you because he knew that he had to come at you in a proper manner because you deserve that, right?
Okay.
And he didn't know how to communicate to you that he was not able to provide that to you at this particular current moment.
Okay.
So if he's not be able, in okay, so you gotta stop talking. So let's say, he you're like, oh my gosh, you just said he was your person, but right now you've already decided, you know what, fine, you're not. You're continue to move forward. So
Right.
you just continue to move forward and doing things that you want to do, because at the moment you least expect it is when they will come back around.
Well, I will say this. I completely agree. And I've watched all these dating experts on YouTube, and they all say, keep living your life. Keep, enjoying the things you enjoy. If you don't have anything going on, pick up a hobby.
If not,
So
you're
you
gonna
have,
meet the right person doing the things that you enjoy. So there you go. It's like, even if you thought the person was the person and he's not, like, say, let's explore that option, saying that he's not. Well, that means that he's positioned you into a place to where you can meet the one, because you were so fed up with his crap that you're like, I'm living my life, and then you go to the gym, and next thing you know, you got you a hottie toddy.
well, I've been living at the gym this week. So
I know.
I'm
So
just so thankful that I have great friends and great family. And I haven't been at work in almost a year because of COVID. But, it is harder being a little older because my friends are married and have children. Like, my social life is not popping like I'd like it to be. But I agree with you. I think it's a really good idea to put myself out there on those platforms and do things I love. And I really do think I am just too, I mean, this is going to sound, well, I don't want to sound like egotistical, but like, I got it going on.
okay,
And
so I so totally just said earlier today to somebody, I was like, listen, there's nothing wrong with thinking that you're bomb.com because you're supposed to. And it's not like you're feeling like you're better than anybody else. It's because you believe in yourself. Doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. And I hope you love yourself too. Like, that's the only thing you gotta say. Like, okay, I love me. I hope you love you too. Like, I don't see the problem here.
and I think for a long time, especially in my 20s, I was barking up the wrong trees. I was attracted to men
Mm.
who were unavailable in some way, form, or fashion. So I really feel like at 39, I am like a juicy, juicy peach. I mean, I am juicy.
Chilton
And I
County
have been,
peaches? Are they Chilton County peaches though?
well, I'm a big juicy Chilton County peach, Jefferson County peach here in Denver.
Okay.
But I feel like I can say at this point in my life that I am ready emotionally
hmm
for that someone.
hmm
And I think 5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe I wasn't. So I really do feel like when he finds me, when I find him, hopefully we will be, we'll
He
have been.
recognizes you first. Let's just put that out there. He, like, I don't know what it is that men have. Like, it's a consensus. Like, I've asked several different men, and all of them have said the same. They say they recognize her immediately. Immediately. And
Well,
that is
listen,
before the woman even is like, oh yeah, like you say that or whatever, but okay, we'll see.
well, I'm going to go ahead and let you speak on that, sis. And we're
I'm
going to let
just
the
saying
Lord
they
hear
do, like, instantly they know. They know. They
because I'm
know.
just I'm just tired of a couple more dating experiences. I won't go into detail, but I will on my Instagram page. You guys, please check it out. It's modern.
Yes.
It's modern.dating.chronicles. Again, modern.dating.chronicles. I just started the page, and the page is to share some of these stories, the good, bad, and the ugly. But really, I want other women to know you're not alone. I know I am not alone in the heartbreaking times and in the exciting times. I just want to share these stories and make it just a dialogue. But I don't want to date any more guys who want to hook up when they've been drinking. I don't want to date any more guys who tell me I don't really know what I'm looking for. And I know that might whittle my pool down a little bit or a lot of it, honestly.
But it's
Uh,
supposed to.
well, listen, some of the
Quality over quantity, because you know that you are valued more than rubies, okay? Proverbs 31. Like, because you have such value, everybody don't have the currency for you, baby.
Well, I hope someone has it somewhere. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't with you. But something I wanted to point out is that, you know, my sister said that she has letting you sisters know that you're not alone. To make sure you definitely follow her on these dating chronicles, because she is so transparent and keeps it real. And on top of that, it is hilarious. Like,
And
she's hilarious.
I had a Facebook page called He Said What? And it was my dating chronicles. But you know what? I I got a lot of comments on it, but just like you, honey, we're professional women. And I don't want it to be a man haters club. I want guys to watch it and say, I've been through the same thing. So I have just moved platforms over to Instagram, and, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's not going to be all sob stories. It's going to be, Q&As. It's going to be funny stories. And you know what? One day I might actually shut it down because the one found me. You never know.
That would be priceless. Well, Casey, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You guys, I just give them out your shout out for your Instagram one more time.
Yes, ma'am. It's modern.dating.chronicles.
All right, guys, you can check us out next week at Tell 'em Why You Mad, Sis. You can check me out also at www.jennifercblack.com. Until next week, see you later.
Woo!